What's up, DIYers? This 10-gallon aquarium used to be my favorite, but I completely outgrew it and so did the fish. So I tore the whole thing down, rebuilt everything from scratch, and turned it into something way better. So I didn't exactly have a plan, but I knew these fish needed a bigger tank, so I found a 20-gallon at Goodwill for like 13 bucks. The next day though, I figured out the rim was cracked, so I couldn't use it. I went out and found another 20-gallon for super cheap. This one was basically brand new, so I brought that home. And I was debating on putting the 20-gallon under my 55-gallon, but I decided against it, and I decided to use the wood from the 10-gallon stand I just built and take it apart and try to build a 20-gallon stand out of that. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd have enough wood for it, but I took it all apart and just figured it out. I wasn't going off any plans. This is 100% DIY. I set the tank on there to get the dimensions and see pretty much what size I wanted the stand to be. Once I figured out the cuts I needed to make, I got everything set up to cut the wood. This is definitely the most time-consuming part of any stand build. Doing all the cuts sucks. I've built a lot of stands over the years and I always make them the same way, but this one I'm actually going a different route just because I didn't have enough lumber. But I definitely still wanted to make sure that it would be structurally sound and able to support the 20-gallon no problem. And compared to any of those cheap particle board stands you get at the store, this thing is going to be way better. Normally when I build a stand, I have the 2x4 sitting upright instead of laying down like this. Technically they're stronger when they're upright, but like I said, I didn't have enough lumber for the other type of stand, so I was going to do it this way. This is still doable and 100% strong enough. It's just built a completely different way. So as you can see, the way I'm putting the legs on, all the weight and force of the tank is going to push down on those 2x4s, and then one 2x4 alone can hold more weight than a 20-gallon full. And obviously there's going to be 4 legs, so this will 100% be strong enough. Of course, I'm not just going to go table style and let the legs be loose like this. I'm going to put another frame at the bottom and then 2 middle supports as well. And now I'm working on that bottom frame. This is where the legs are going to sit on. This is going to hold them in place and not let it like wiggle or move around. So this adds to the strength, of course. It's a little harder to screw in 2x4s when they're like this, laying down rather than upright. So I put that 2x4 in the center to kind of squeeze them together so they wouldn't move, and then I could just screw in from the side pretty easily. Nice little hack that I figured out on the fly. And now we're going to screw that piece into the legs so that those are structurally sound and they can't wiggle around. So it looks pretty good like that, and it probably would have supported the weight, but I always overbuild, so I added 2 supports in the center as well. Since the 2x4s are laying down and not sitting upright, they're a little bit weaker like I said, and so that middle could be prone to issues. And why risk it when you can just add 2 pieces of wood and save yourself a lot of time and a lot of misery. Last thing I want to do to the stand is add a piece of plywood on top. I did not have any plywood other than this Santa Claus thing. We're not going to use it anymore, so I decided to just chop it up and use the plywood from this. It's really nice 3/4 inch plywood. I saved myself a bunch of money, so why not? Just got to secure this to the frame, add the tank, level the stand, and then we'll be good to put water in this bad boy. So funny story, I have this level. It's literally older than I am, and it was not working when I was trying to level this stand. I'm not even kidding. It probably took me like 30 minutes to get it level. It would say it's perfectly level, and then I would spin the level around 180 degrees and it would say it's off. It made no sense. Now that I wasted 30 minutes trying to level the stand, I can finally rinse my sand. Got play sand, and this stuff needs to be rinsed religiously. Honestly, could have rinsed it for like an hour more. But this is exciting. We're finally getting some substrate in the tank, and then we're gonna fill it. My first time using play sand, and I had no idea it was like the dustiest sand known to man, so yeah, I probably would have chose something else if I knew that. But hey, this 50-pound bag was only $7, so that's a win. Now I'm gonna take this tank water that I drained from the 10-gallon and put it in the 20. This isn't really necessary, and I know there's not a ton of beneficial bacteria in the water column, but it's going to keep the temperature pretty close. Now the moment of truth, we're going to fill this bad boy up. I didn't even water test it. I was just too excited to get ready and get this tank set up, but it looks brand new and I have faith that it'll be good, so cross your fingers. I normally just run a sponge filter on this tank, but I decided to add this little HOB on the back because wow, it is so cloudy, like it's literally white. My camera couldn't even focus. But the extra filter should help suck up some of that dust and get it clearer much faster. So I thought I was doing a time lapse the whole time I was transferring the fish from the 10-gallon to the 20-gallon, but then I went to my phone and it wasn't recording that whole time. And it was still way too cloudy to actually plant the tank, so I had to bundle up all the plants, weigh them down so I could just throw them in the tank until it clears up. Definitely wasn't my plan, but like I said, I had no clue that freaking play sand was this dusty. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm super impatient when I'm setting up a new tank. I want to just do it all right away, get it done, and get that reward, but you know, you gotta wait sometimes. So now I gotta figure out what to do with this 10 gallon. Should I set it up again? I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep it for a while, so drop some suggestions if you guys think I should set it up again. Maybe our first little saltwater tank, that'd be sick. So the tank finally cleared up like a freaking day later. We can finally start planting again, and then the second I started doing that, here comes the dust again. If you're gonna learn anything from this video, it's don't use play sand unless you absolutely have to. It's just being cheap, but honestly, I should have just used aqua soil or some of the blasting sand that I used in my 55. But anyways, we're just using all the plants from the 10 gallon here. I also took some from the 36 and the 55 just to make it a little more bushy. That big bundle on the left right there definitely helped once I figured out where to put it. It added some depth once I threw it back in the back there. So I'm gonna get these last few plants in, let it clear up, and then I'll show you guys the final results. So this project was so fun. It was really fun to set up a new tank for all these guppies. It was also really fun to DIY this stand. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like and don't forget to subscribe for more fish tank builds, pond builds, and any other fun fish stuff.